Okay, guys, let us not wait anymore. Let us start with the session. Okay, so as you people know, everybody, once again, welcome to the session, guys. Welcome to the session, and you all know this is Kanakaraj here. I'll be your aptitude trainer. I'll be your aptitude trainer for the coming sessions. So now, guys, now what was the other few topics that were already covered to you, guys? What were the topics that was covered to you? What were the topics that was already covered to you? Since it's been the third day here, right? What happened to this class? What happened to this class? Why is this? Okay, ratios and percentages. Perfect. Ratios and percentages. First class, I myself completed the topic of ratios. So, yeah. And averages. Teju actually, huh? What was that? Restaurant averages and percentages, is it? Okay, yeah, ratios and percentages. We could not deal with the topic of averages because it took up the entire 2 hours to complete the topic of ratios itself. And you all know how important the topic of ratios and percentages is. Abhilash should have already told you what is the importance of percentage. What is the importance of percentage? Look at this. Whenever you're taking up any aptitude, right, any aptitude exams, or whenever you're preparing for quantitative aptitude, I would tell you guys that these three things, ratios, percentages, and averages, these three things will be the pillars of your quantitative aptitude, because all the other concepts will be dependent on these concepts here. All the other concepts will be dependent on these three concepts. Now, today's topic will be time, speed, and distance. Time, speed, and distance. One of the very important topics. One of the very important topics, because the number of questions that you will be getting in your PGCET exams or other competitive exams will be slightly more over here. It will be around 2 to 3 questions you'll be getting from time, speed, and distance. So this will be very important for you guys. So how do we start with the topic? We all know that there are three terms here. There are three terms. We've already seen those three terms. What are those? Quickly, what are those? Come on, guys. What are the three terms? The topic, name of the topic itself is telling you those three terms. What will we be dealing with in today's class? Yes, we'll be dealing with something called as time, speed, and distance. So our first responsibility here, or our first job here, will be to understand what is the relation between time, speed, and distance. What is the relation between time, speed, and distance? We have to find the relation between all these three. So how do I find the relation between all these three? Look at this. Look at this. Always try to implement your common sense here. Try to implement your common sense here. Since it is aptitude, look at this. I would ask you people one simple question, and the question goes something like this. Yes, everybody know what the speed is. When you're traveling from your house to school or your college, from your house to college, at what speed would you people like to travel? I want your answers, guys. I want your answers. At what speed would you like to travel from your house to college? Everyone? Very good morning, everyone. People on the YouTube live stream as well. Very good morning. Vijay, Madhu. Very good morning, guys. 30 kilometers? Speed, guys. Speed. Is it 30 kilometers? If I tell it is 30 kilometers, don't you think I'm telling the distance between my house to my college? I'm asking you at what speed. Look at this. Chetan says 6 kilometer per hour. Probably it should be 60 kilometer per hour. Maybe he's made a mistake, or maybe he might like to go at 6 kilometer per hour. Beautiful. Sri Lakshmi tells it is 50 kilometer per hour. Yes, absolutely right. Absolutely right. When I am traveling, when if you ask me at what speed I would like to travel, I would like to be a little safe here. I would like to travel a little safe here. I would tell I would like to travel at 60 kilometer per hour. 60 kilometer per hour. If I ask my same question to one of my friends here, he would be telling me that going at 60 kilometer per hour is very boring. I want to go at 100 kilometer per hour. I would like to travel at 100 kilometer per hour. Okay, I would like to travel. If you ask me, I would tell 60 kilometer per hour. And few of my friends here are telling 50 kilometer per hour. And one of my friend, I have a very close friend of mine, his name is Suas, and if I ask him, whenever I ask him at what speed he would like to travel, he would never come down under 100. He would never come down under 100. So he would tell me he wants to travel at 100 kilometer per hour. Okay, so if you have observed something, guys, if you have observed something, if each person would like to travel at a different speed, the value of speed is changing. Value of speed is changing, but there is something which is constant. There is something which is constant. Can you people tell me what it is? Yes, Trisha says depending upon how much time is left or left for start of college. Srisha, I would tell you it would depend on at what time you're waking up. If you're waking up late, you would want to rush in, go fast. If you wake up early, you would want to go slow. Timing for the college, start of the college will be constant every day. But we waking up will not be the same. Okay, see, there is something constant, right? What is that constant over here? Is it time? Oh, look at all of those 60 kilometer per hour, 50 kilometer per hour, 100 kilometer per hour. Values might have been changing 60, 50, 100, but there is something that is constant over in all the three cases over here. All the three cases, there is something constant. Yes. What you people are telling me, distance is constant. Don't you think the unit kilometer per hour is also constant? Don't you think over here, this kilometer per hour is also constant? Yes, whatever you told is absolutely right. Distance is also constant. Along with the distance, look at this. Can I tell that whenever I'm measuring speed, if I might be measuring 60, 50 or 100, but still I'm measuring it in terms of kilometer per hour. Kilometer per hour. So now tell me, what is measured in terms of kilometer? What is measured in terms of kilometer? What is measured in terms of kilometer? Can I tell you distance is always measured in terms of kilometer? Distance is always measured in terms of kilometer. So I'll tell that speed is equal to kilometer meaning distance. Then what is measured in terms of hours? What is measured in terms of hours? Always I would tell you time is measured in terms of hours. So from this, I got to know that speed is equal to distance traveled by time taken. Speed is equal to distance traveled by time taken. Whenever I'm getting confused with the formulas, this is how I'll try to get the formulas. This is how I will try to get the formulas. Look, I didn't do anything extraordinary over here. I just know what is the speed that I want to travel. Speed is measured in terms of kilometer per hour. Kilometer per hour. So kilometer per hour meaning what is measured in terms of kilometer distance, what is measured in terms of hours time. So speed is equal to distance traveled by time. This is one formula. And one more thing is, if you send this time to the other side, I can tell that distance will be equal to speed into time. Distance is equal to speed into time. Or what I can do here is I can send speed to this side and time to this side. So what will be time equivalent to? Time will be equal to distance by speed. Time will be equal to distance divided by speed. These are the three important formulas that we'll be using in this time, speed and distance. And I didn't ask you to memorize these formulas. I showed you how to get these formulas. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Quickly, guys, quickly. Jayashree, you're asking us to do class on English GK as well. Okay, GK in English, is it? Fine. Okay. I'm so sorry. We have general knowledge in Kannada in our channel, but not in English, buddy. Not in English. I'll try to do something about it. I'll just inform to you. Okay, beautiful, beautiful. So let us continue with the session here. Let us continue with the session. Now look at this. Now look at this. See, you told me that there is one more thing that was constant. That is distance. If you think distance is constant, if distance is constant, Tell me what will happen if I increase the speed. Distance is constant. If I increase the speed, what will happen to the time taken? What will happen to the time taken? Let us imagine the distance between my house to college is 30 kilometers. 30 kilometers. If I'm traveling at 60 kilometer per hour, I'll be taking some time to reach the college. Some time to reach the college. If I travel at 100 kilometer per hour, what will happen to the time? Will I take the same time? Will I take less time or will I take more time? When I'm increasing the speed from 60 to 100, from 60 to 100, speed is increasing. When the speed is increasing, the time that I'm taking is less. The time that I'm taking is less. Yes, beautiful. See, time cannot be more. When the time is less, only then I'll go fast. I will try to reach the college fast. Yes or no? When speed increases, time will decrease. Time will decrease. What will happen if the speed decreases? If the speed decreases, time will obviously increase. Time will obviously increase. If I'm traveling at 50 kilometer per hour, I might take 1 hour to reach. If I'm traveling at 60 kilometer per hour, which means if I'm increasing the speed, I might take 50 minutes to reach. If I'm traveling at 100 kilometer per hour, I might take only half an hour to reach. So look at this. If the speed increases, time decreases. If the speed decreases, time increases. So which means speed is inversely proportional to time. Speed is inversely proportional to time, and this is one of the most important things. And this is also very important for you people to understand. Is this clear? Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? Quickly, guys. Quickly let me know in the chat box. Yes, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Okay. Now come back. What I would tell you is, just now we measured speed in terms of kilometer per hour. Kilometer per hour. See, whenever my distance was measured in terms of kilometer and time was measured in terms of hours, my speed was measured in terms of kilometer per hour. Kilometer per hour. What if, is there any other way to measure my distance, time and speed? Is this the only way to measure distance? Is kilometer the only way to measure distance? No, right? We can also measure distance in terms of meter. If you are measuring distance in terms of meter, you should measure times in terms of second. So your speed will be in terms of meter per second. There is another way. There is another way. You can measure your distance in terms of miles also. Miles. If you're measuring your distance in terms of miles, you'll be measuring your time in terms of hours. Your speed will be in times of miles per hour. Your time will be, your speed will be in terms of miles per hour. But then for PGCET exams or any banking exams, this is not very much required. This is not required. Miles per hour is not required. So we'll be concentrating more on kilometer per hour and meter per second. Kilometer per hour and meter per second. So the simple question that the teachers can ask you, or the simple question that they can ask you from this topic is, convert kilometer per hour, the speed in kilometer per hour, into meter per second, into meter per second. So how do I do that? How do I convert a speed in which is in terms of kilometer per hour into something in terms of meter per second? How would I do that? Anybody? Anyone? Sanjay says it is 5 by 18. 5 by 18. Okay. Let us try to solve it. Let us try to solve it. Is it correct? Is it correct? Let us see. Let us see about it. Now look at this, guys. Why is it 5 by 18? Even if it's 5 by 18, why is it 5 by 18? Look, whenever I see kilometer per hour, can you people tell me how many kilometers forms a meter? Because I need to convert kilometer per hour into meter per second. So first thing, I need to convert this kilometer into meter. So can I tell that 1000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer? Similarly, now I want to convert this hours into seconds. Every hour will have 60 minutes and every minute will have 60 seconds. So 60 into 60. Now is it converted into meter per second? Yes, it is converted. Two zeros gets cancelled. 2 5 times is 10, 2 3 times is 6. So look at this. What do I have here? 5 by 18 meter per second. Meter per second. So I can tell that 1 kilometer per hour. 1 kilometer per hour is nothing but it is 5 by 18 meter per second. 5 by 18 meter per second. So whenever I see kilometer per hour, I'll be multiplying it with 5 by 18. What if I have to convert meter per second into kilometer per hour? What if I have to convert meter per second back into kilometer per hour? What will I do? I'll just send this to the other side. Look at this. If I send this 18 to the other side, it will go to the numerator. Divided by 5 will come to the denominator. So 18 by 5 kilometer per hour, 18 by 5 kilometer per hour will be equal to 1 meter per second, 1 meter per second. So from this I could understand that if I want to convert from kilometer per hour into meter per second into meter per second, what will I do? I'll multiply it with 5 by 18. The moment I see kilometer, I should look at 5. The moment I see kilometer, 5 should come in the numerator. The moment I see meter, meter per second into kilometer per hour, the moment I see there is no kilometer there, write 5 in the denominator. Write 5 in the denominator. Remaining will be in the numerator, 18 by 5. So you'll multiply it with a 5 by 18 here and you'll multiply with 18 by 5 when you're coming back from meter per second to kilometer per hour. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Shall I give you a few problems? Take this up. Convert 72 kilometer per hour to meter per second and convert 108 kilometer per hour into meter per second. Quickly guys, quickly. Let me see how many of you can give me the answer. What will be 72 kilometer per hour in terms of meter per second? And what will be 108 kilometer per hour in terms of meter per second? Gangotri says it is 20 meter per second. Okay, what about others? Beautiful. People here in the live class, people here in the class in our app. I've not got answers from you. YouTube live class, I've already got answers. Srinivas says it is 20 meter per second. 20 meter per second. Okay. Even okay, I got answers. Nandini, Sri Lakshmi, Srinivas. Perfect, guys. 20 meter per second. For people who haven't understood it, let me show it to you. Let me show it to you. How do I convert 72 kilometer per hour? I told you, the moment you see kilometer, write 5 in the numerator. So 72 into 5 you have written. Now if you have written 5 in the numerator, remember only one more number, that is 18. So this will become, now this kilometer per hour is converted into meter per second. So look at this, 18 1 times, 18 4 times. 5 into 4 is what? 20 meter per second. 20 meter per second will be 72 kilometer per hour. Same thing with 108. What am I supposed to do? 108 into 5 by 18 meter per second. So 18, how many times will be 108? 18 6 times will be 108. 6 into 5 will be what? 30. So 30 meter per second. So from this I can tell that 72 kilometer per hour can also be written as 20 meter per second. Same way, 108 kilometer per hour can also be written as 30 meter per second. Is this clear to everyone here? Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear? Everyone, quickly. Anybody, any doubts till now? Anybody, any doubts? Yes, everybody says it is clear. Beautiful, beautiful. What about people in the app here? Yes, perfect, clear. Okay, any doubts? No, right? Shall we move on to the next thing, that is conversion of meter per second into kilometer per hour? Shall we do that? Okay, now look at this. Now, my next question here is for you people to convert 25 meter per second into kilometer per hour. 25 meter per second into kilometer per hour, and as also convert, let us say, yeah, 35 meter per second as well. 35 meter per second into kilometer per hour. How would you do that? Quickly, I want answers from you guys. 90 kilometer per hour. Okay, okay. Malte, Sri Lakshmi, Ganga, Nandini all say it is 90 kilometer per hour. Let us verify that. Okay, look at this. 25 meter per second. 25 meter per second. Whenever you see, if you see meter per second, I told you take down 5 in the denominator. If you don't see kilometer, 5 in the denominator. If you see kilometer, 5 is in the numerator. That's all. As simple as that. Into the remaining is 18. So meter per second got converted into kilometer per hour. Look at this, 5 once, 5 times. 5 into 18 is what? 90. So the answer here will be 90 kilometer per hour. Similarly with 35 meter per second, what will be 35 meter per second? 35 into 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. Kilometer per hour. 5 once, 5 7 times. 18 7 times will be what? 18 7 times will be equal to 18 7 times will be equal to 128. No, sorry, 126. I'm so sorry. It would be 126 kilometer per hour. 126 kilometer per hour. Is this correct? Everybody agrees with this? Yes or no? Understood this? Everyone? Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, 126 kilometer per hour. 126 kilometer per hour. Beautiful, guys. Beautiful. Now you people have understood how to convert meter per second into kilometer per hour. Now we'll be actually moving on to the questions. We'll actually be moving on to what are the types of questions, that what are the sub concepts under your time, speed, and distance. Now, what are the sub concepts under your time, speed, and distance? If you ask me, what are the sub concepts? I would tell you, whenever we are talking about time, speed, and distance, there are three sub concepts. What are those? First thing here is we'll be talking about average speed. We'll be talking about average speed. The next thing here we'll be talking about your relative speed. We'll be talking about your relative speed. And then the last subconcept here will be your boats and streams. Will be your boats and streams. Now observe here and let us understand what is average speed first. Let us talk about what is average speed. Now can you people tell me, what do you understand by average speed? Guys, what is average speed? What do you think average speed is? Anyone? Anyone? What is average speed? Anyone? Anyone? What do you people understand by average speed? Total distance by time, minimum speed, a plus b by 2, closer to perfect speed, x plus y kilometer per hour divided by 2, constant speed to cover a distance. Okay, everybody have told something different, but everybody have been very close to something, very close. Whereas Srinivas and Sri Lakshmi, please understand that there is a small difference between average speed and average of the two given speeds. Average speed and average of the two given speeds are both different. Let me tell you why when I take up a next example. But right now, let us not talk about it. I'll show you why average speed and average of the two speeds both are two different things. Right now, to explain average speed, I would take up one example. Let us imagine there is a person and his name is Kiran. Now, the friend of ours, Kiran, is traveling from Chennai to Bangalore. Is traveling from Chennai to Bangalore. What I would tell you is, like, I'll give you certain distances that he traveled. I'll tell you that Kiran will travel 60 kilometers. He will travel 60 kilometers in 30 minutes. In 30 minutes by train. He'll travel 60 kilometers in 30 minutes by train. And he'll also travel 40 kilometers. He'll also travel 40 kilometers in 50 minutes by bus. He'll travel 40 kilometers in 50 minutes by bus. And finally, he'll travel another 60 kilometers in 40 minutes. In 40 minutes by bike. Now, if I ask you to find the average speed of Kiran's journey over here, what would we do? How do I find it out? Now observe, guys. Now observe. Tell me, if you ask me what is average speed, what is average speed? S average. I would tell you average speed is nothing but total distance traveled by total time taken. Total distance traveled by total time taken. Total time taken. Okay, it is not just it is not just time, it is total time taken. Can anybody tell me what will be the total distance traveled by Kiran over here? What will be the total distance traveled by Kiran over here? It is not total speed by 2, it is total distance traveled by total time taken. Nandini told it right. Nandini has given it right. Total speed divide total distance by total time. Okay, 160. Beautiful. The total distance that he has traveled is 160 kilometers. 160 kilometers. What is the answers given by our YouTube stream people? Uday Surya, it is not 140, it is 160. Yes, absolutely right, buddy. Absolutely right. Sanjay says it is total distance by total time, which is absolutely right. Absolutely right. Let us take it up. Total distance by total time taken. So I know average speed for me is total distance, which is 160 kilometers. 160 kilometers divided by what is the total time, anyone? What is the total time? 120 minutes. Virya Swami says it is 120 minutes. Beautiful. What about the people in our app? 120 minutes. 120 minutes. So now tell me, what will be the answer? What will be my average speed? 160 divided by 120 minutes. Can I keep it like this, or should I write it as 160 kilometer divided by, now I need to convert this minutes into hours? Yes or no? Why? I told you people earlier, whenever you're measuring speed in terms of kilometers, your time should always be in terms of hours. So your speed will be kilometer per hour. Whenever you're traveling it in terms of meters, it should always be in terms, so time should be always be in terms of seconds. So it should be meter per second. So you cannot keep it in terms of minutes. You need to convert it into hours. So it will be 2 hours. So can I tell that average speed for this entire journey here will be equal to 80 kilometer per hour. 80 kilometer per hour, because look at this, 2 ones, 280 times kilometer per hour. So it will be 80 kilometer per hour. Everybody able to understand this? Everybody able to understand this? Yes? Yes or no? Quickly, guys, let me know. Is everybody able to understand this? Perfect. 80 kilometer per hour. Now shall we understand what I mean by average speed is 80 kilometer per hour? Shall we understand what I mean by this? Now look at this. Instead of Kiran traveling 60 kilometers in 30 minutes by a train, so here it would be, what will be his speed? Here his speed will be 120 kilometers. Yes or no? 30 by 60. So 30 divided by 60. 30 minutes is half an hour. So his speed here will be equal to 120 kilometer per hour. Here you'll be having some other speed. Here also you'll be having some other speed. Instead of traveling different distances at different speed, if Kiran had traveled this same 160 kilometers at 80 kilometer per hour for 2 hours, you would have traveled the same distance? You would have taken the same time? Yes or no? Yes or no? Let me repeat it. Let me repeat it. What do I mean by this? Instead of Kiran traveling at train, instead of traveling 60 kilometers in train for at 30 minutes, instead of traveling 40 kilometers in bus in 50 minutes, instead of traveling 60 kilometers by bike at 40 minutes, if Kiran had directly traveled 160 kilometers at 80 kilometer per hour, he would have reached the destination in the same time, that is 2 hours. Yes or no? Yes or no? Everybody able to understand this? That is what I mean by average speed. Average speed is nothing but one equivalent speed for all the speeds. One equivalent speed for all the different given speeds. Yes. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? What is average speed? Average speed is nothing but one equivalent speed for all the given speeds. Yes. Now observe here. Now observe here. How did I try? How did I get average speed? I got to know that average speed is nothing but total distance traveled by total time taken. Total distance traveled by total time taken. Okay. I would give you one more example here. I would give you one more example here and ask you to find what is the average speed. I would tell you that. Let us imagine there is another friend of mine. Let me tell his name is Deepak. His name is Deepak. Okay. Okay, his name is Deepak. Now, my friend Deepak over here travels from Bangalore to Mysore. He will travel from Bangalore to Mysore. Okay. Okay. What I would tell you is while traveling from Bangalore to Mysore, this is Bangalore, this point here is Bangalore, and this is Mysore. Just a moment, guys. Bangalore to Mysore. While traveling from Bangalore to Mysore, let us imagine Deepak here is traveling at 60 kilometer per hour. At what speed he'll be traveling? He'll be traveling at 60 kilometer per hour. While coming back from Mysore to Bangalore, he'll come back at 40 kilometer per hour. 40 kilometer per hour. Can anybody tell me what is the average speed for Deepak to go from Bangalore to Mysore and come back from Mysore to Bangalore? Can anybody tell me what will be the average speed in this case? What will be the average speed in this case? Anyone? Deepak is traveling from Bangalore to Mysore at 60 kilometer per hour, while coming back at 40 kilometer per hour. What will be the average speed? Now, majority of us here will think that the average speed here is 50 kilometer per hour. While going 60, while coming back 40. 60 plus 40 is 100. Divided by 2 is 50. This is what we all think. This is what we all think, but that is not correct. But that is not correct. Why is it not correct? Why is it not correct? Let me show you. That is why I told you previously. That is why I previously told you that average speed is not equal to average of the two given speeds. Your average of this two given speeds would have been 40 plus 60 divided by 2. This is average of the given speeds, not the average speed. Let me tell you why. Now we know that average speed is equal to average speed, S average, is equal to what? Total distance traveled by total time taken. Total distance traveled by total time taken. Okay. Yes, absolutely right. It is total distance traveled by total time taken. So now I don't know what is my total distance. I don't know what is my total distance. So can I assume my total distance to be as D? I'll assume my total distance. I'll assume the distance between Bangalore to Mysore as D. I'll assume the distance from Bangalore to Mysore as D. Now, can anybody tell me what will be the total distance in this case? Can anybody tell me what will be the total distance in this case? What would be the total distance in this case? See, I don't know what is the total distance. I don't know what is the time. They've given me only the speed and asking me to find average speed. How do I do that? See, that is why I have taken it as total distance by total time. I don't know what is total distance. So I assume the distance from Bangalore to Mysore as D. So what would be the total distance in this case? Anyone? What will be the total distance quickly? See, understand what is the journey. Is traveling from Bangalore to Mysore. The distance between Bangalore to Mysore is D. Bangalore to Mysore is D. It traveled D. Now he's not staying there. He's coming back from Mysore to Bangalore. He's coming back from Mysore to Bangalore. So can I tell that he's traveling 2D? Yes, perfect, Satvik. Perfect. His total distance here is 2D. 2D. Okay. The total distance here is 2D divided by total time. What will be the total time? Do I know the total time? No, I don't know the total time. So like what I did here for distance, can I assume the time also? If I assume the time while going, if I assume the time is taking as T1, and while coming back, if I assume the time as T2, do you think I'll be able to get the answer? There'll be so many unknowns. So how do I get this? While going from Bangalore to Mysore, what would be the time taken by him? What would be the time taken by him? Look at this. What is the formula for time? Time is equal to distance by speed. Can I tell you, while traveling is taking time one is traveling, what is the distance is traveling from Bangalore to Mysore? It is the distance called as D divided by what speed is he traveling? Is traveling at 60 kilometer per hour. So can I tell that the time taken by Deepak to travel from Bangalore to Mysore is D by 60? D by 60? Yes, that is time 1 from Bangalore to Mysore. What would be the time taken by Deepak to travel back from Bangalore to Mysore? Anybody? Mysore to Bangalore, anyone? Anyone? If I'm telling you is traveling from Bangalore to Mysore by taking D by 60 kilometer per hour, then what will be the time taken while traveling from Mysore back to Bangalore? It is D by 40, right? It is D by 40. Absolutely right. Yes, it is D divided by 40. D divided by 40. So the total time here is nothing but time 1 plus time 2. Time 1 plus time 2. Yes, that will be the total time. Traveling from Bangalore to Mysore is taking some time. That is T1. Traveling back from Mysore to Bangalore is taking some time. That is T2. So from this, I can tell that average speed will be equal to 2D divided by D by 60 plus T2, that is D by 40. Now if I take the LCM here, what will be the LCM here? The LCM here will be 120. So 2D divided by the LCM here is 120. If I want to get 120, what should I do? I need to multiply this with 2. So it will be 2D. Plus, if I want to get 120 here, I should multiply this with 3. So this will be 3D. This will be my average speed. This will be my average speed. If I further simplify this, what will I get? If I further simplify this, I can write it as 2D divide into, okay, 2D divided by D plus 2D plus 3D is nothing but 5D. Now look at this 120. If I simplify this, it will go to the numerator. It will become into 120. Yes. Now look at this. D and D gets cancelled. Okay, sorry. This is not 3D. This is 5D. I'm so sorry. This is 5D. 2 plus 3 is 5D. D and D gets cancelled. 5 once, 5 24 times. So 2 into 24 is what? 48 kilometer per hour. 48 kilometer per hour, and that will be my average speed. My average speed here will be equal to 48 kilometer per hour. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? If you have understood this, I'll be giving you a shortcut as well. I'll be giving you a shortcut as well. Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? Understood this? Did you all understand what I did over here? Yes, perfect. Perfect. Pretty simple. I didn't do anything. Just is I'm telling you 60 kilometers and while coming back 40. So I don't know what is the distance. I assumed it to be D. What is the total distance traveled by him? It will be 2D. Now what will be the time taken when he's traveling from Bangalore to Mysore? If I take it as T1, we know that time is nothing but distance by speed. So what is the distance he's traveling from Bangalore to Mysore? The distance is D divided by speed. What is the speed? Speed here is 60 kilometer per hour. So if I simplify this, I got it as 48 kilometer per hour. Same thing can be done in another way. What is that? Let me show that to you. Let me show that to you. Just give me a moment over here. Okay. Now observe this, guys. Now observe this. What I'm telling you is, while traveling is traveling from Bangalore to Mysore at 60 kilometer per hour, while coming back is coming back at 40 kilometer per hour. If we have observed this carefully, we got to know that no matter what I assume here over your distance, whatever I assume here, don't you think it will get cancelled out at the end? You're taking out common and you're cancelling this 2 out. Look at this. What is happening to this D which we had assumed? It is getting cancelled. Yes or no? Whatever you assume there, you can assume it as X, you can assume it as Y, you can assume it as Z, you can assume it as T, you can assume it as 100, you can assume it as 500. Don't you think it is getting cancelled? Don't you think it will get cancelled at the end? It will get cancelled at the end. So to make things easier for us, what I will do is, I'll assume the distance as, 120 kilometers. 120 kilometers. The distance between Bangalore and Mysore, I'll assume it as 120 kilometers. Can anybody tell me why did I take it as 120? Why did I not take it as 100 like what we did in percentages? What you people did in percentages, when you don't know some value, you assumed it as 100. Yes or no? Initial value was assumed as 100. But here I'm assuming it as 120. Why? Why? Anyone. If you get to know the answer for this, you have understood this concept really well. Can anybody tell me why 120 kilometer? Why not any other number? Why not any other number? LCM. Beautiful, Sharda. Beautiful. I'm taking the LCM of the two given speeds. The two given speeds, that is 60 and 40, and this is 120. Why did I take it as 120? Why did I take the LCM? Let me show you. What is average speed? Average speed is nothing but total distance traveled by total time taken. Now can anybody tell me what will be the total distance traveled by total time taken? Total distance is nothing but is traveling two times. What is he traveling two times? He's traveling this 120 kilometers two times. 120 kilometers is traveling two times. So 2 into 120. Yes. Divided by. Look at this. Okay. Divided by. Okay. Look at this. What is the total time taken? What is the time he's taking from while traveling from Bangalore to Mysore? You know that while traveling from Bangalore to Mysore, he'll be taking some time. And that time is distance divided by speed. What is the distance from Bangalore to Mysore? 120. 120 kilometers. What is the speed? What is the speed with which he'll be traveling? He'll be traveling with the speed of 60 kilometer per hour. 60 kilometer per hour. So what will happen? Kilometer gets cancelled. 61 times, 62 times. So can I tell that the time taken by him to travel this 120 kilometers from Bangalore to Mysore is 2 hours? Now, while coming back, I want total time, which means time traveling from Bangalore to Mysore and Mysore back to Bangalore. How much time will it take while he's traveling from Mysore to Bangalore? You know that time too. That is nothing but distance by speed. You know distance is same. That is 120 kilometers divided by what is the speed that he's traveling with? He's traveling with 40 kilometer per hour. 40 kilometer per hour. So look at this kilometers. Kilometers gets cancelled. 0, 0. 4 ones, 4 3 times. So I got to know time T is 3 hours. So look at this. What will be my average speed here? My average speed here will be equal to 2 into 120, which is 240 kilometer, divided by 3 into 2, which is nothing but 3 plus 2, which is nothing but 5 hours. So 5 once, 5 4 times is 20, 5 8 times is 40. So you'll be getting the same answer, but this will be much easier for us. This will be much easier, kilometer per hour. It will be much easier for us. Yes or no? Everybody understood this? Did everybody understand this? Did everyone understand this? Yes or no, guys? Quickly, quickly. Perfect, perfect. Now observe carefully. Now observe carefully. I can do one more thing over here. I can do one more thing easily over here. What is that? What is that? See, from here, I can tell that average speed, S average, S average. I'll take a different color so that you don't get confused. What I'll tell you is S average can also be given by, look at this, what is this? This is nothing but 2. This is nothing but 2 into speed 1 into speed 2 divided by speed 1 plus speed 2. Speed 1 plus speed 2. How did I get this? How did I get this? Go back here. Go back here. What is this d by 60? This is nothing but total speed. This is nothing but 60 is nothing but speed. 40 is nothing but speed. That is what you are getting over here. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me substitute it in this formula here. If I substitute it in this formula, what will I be getting? Just a moment. What will I be getting here? I told you average speed is nothing but 2 times of speed 1 into speed 2 divided by speed 1 plus speed 2. So look at this. What will this be equal to? 2 times of speed 1 is what? 60 into speed 2 is what? 40 divided by speed 1 plus speed 2. What will be speed 1 plus speed 2? 60 plus 40. Simplify this. What can I tell? This will be 2 into 60 into 40 divided by 100 divided by 100. So 2 zeros gets cancelled. What will I be remaining with? 2 into 6 is 12. 12 into 4 is 48. Here also I'll be getting my average speed to be as 48 kilometer per hour. 48 kilometer per hour. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Yes. So what is the average speed? Formula for average speed from here? I can tell that the formula for average speed here is nothing but 2 times of S1 into S2 divided by S1 plus S2. S1 plus S2. That is nothing but my average speed formula. But there is one condition here, guys. There is one condition. Look at this. You can use this method whenever, whichever question it's there, you can use this method. But you cannot use this method in every single case. If you want to use this formula, average speed, S average is equal to 2 times of S1, S2 divided by S1 plus S2, there is condition that you will have to follow. What is that condition? The condition is that, look at this, how many speeds are here? There are only 2 speeds. So there must be only 2 speeds if you have to apply this formula. If you have to apply this formula, there should be only 2 speeds. Look at in this case, first example that I had taken for you people. First example that I took for you people. Is there only 2 speeds or are there more? There are more speeds. So you cannot use that formula in this case. And there is one more thing, one more condition here. What is that? Whenever you're using this formula, the distance must be constant. The distance here must be constant. Again, look at this. What is distance? Is distance constant? Yes. Look at this. He's traveling from Bangalore to Mysore and he's coming back from Mysore to Bangalore. So distance is constant. Distance is constant. What about here? What about here? Is Kiran traveling 60 kilometers everywhere? No, he's traveling 60 and then 40 and 60. So in this case also you cannot use that formula directly. So what I would tell you is, yes, remember this formula. This will be helping you out to solve the questions quickly. But then try to understand when to use this formula and when not to use. When to use it? When there are only 2 speeds. And there is one more condition. What is that condition? Distance must be constant. Distance must be constant. Is this clear to everyone? Shall we start solving problems on average speed now? Shall we start solving problems quickly then? Everyone quickly. Shall we start solving problems here? Yes, beautiful, beautiful. Let us quickly start solving the problems over here. Let us quickly start solving the problems over here. Look at this. What will be my first question? My first question goes something like this. Convert the speed of 45 kilometer per hour into meter per second. Convert the speed of 45 kilometer per hour into meter per second. Pretty simple question. Can we do it quickly? You want to convert 45 kilometer per hour. The moment you see kilometer, I told you to write 5 in the numerator. Divided by 18. Done. 9 5 times is 45. 9 2 times is 18. 5 into 5 is 25. 25 divided by 2 is what? 12.5. 12.5. 12.5. What will it be? Since it was kilometer per hour, now I'm converting into meter per second. So it will be 12.5 meter per second. 12.5 meter per second. So my answer here will be option 1, 12.5 meter per second. Look at the next question. Quickly give me the answer for this. Convert the speed of 47.5 meter per second into kilometer per hour. 47.5 meter per second into kilometer per hour. Quickly, guys, quickly. I want your answers very quick, very quick. I want your answers. Pretty simple question, pretty simple question. Just everything here is about calculations. You cannot use your calculators. If you're using your calculators, you're not going to cheat me. You're cheating yourselves, guys, because in the examination you're not allowed to use your calculator. Even if you're able to use it now, later on when you go into the examination, all once they don't give you they don't let you use the calculator, you will be the one who will be losing out on things. Okay, okay then. You tell it is 171 kilometer per hour. Let us verify that. Let us verify that. Okay, look at this. Convert the speed of 47.5. Yes, 47.5. The moment you don't see kilometers, what I told you, write 5 in the denominator. Numerator here will be 18. So if I divide this, what will I get? 5 1 times 5. How many times is 47? 5 9 times is 45. So remaining is 0.5 will be remaining. So 9.5 into 18. So can I write it as 95 into 18? Yes, 9.5. I'll write this decimal value at the end. I'll write this decimal value at the end. Now look at this. 95 can also be written as 100 minus 1 into 8. Sorry, 100 minus 5 into 18. Can I do this? Yes, obviously I can do this. 18 into 100 is what? 1800. Minus 5 into 18 is what? 5 into 18 is 90. Yes or no? Everybody able to understand what I'm doing here? I took it as, instead of 9.5, I took it as 95. 95 is what? 100 minus 5 is 95. 95 into 18. 95 into 18. And so that can be written as 100 minus 5 into 18. 18 into 100 is 1800. Minus 18 into 5. Everybody knows it is 90. 1800 minus 90 is 1710. Now you know there is one decimal value here because it is not 95. It is 9.5. So take one decimal value. So what will it become? 171. Since it was meter per second, now we have converted into kilometer per hour. So it would be 171 kilometer per hour. I hope everybody understood this. I hope everybody calculation were also simple for you people. Did you all understand how to calculate? How to be a little smart enough? Yes or no? Yes or no? Look at this, guys. Okay, one more question. I would want to ask you one more question. This question is about calculation. If I tell you what is 168 168 into 5, what will be your answer? What will be your answer? Will you sit and multiply over here? 5 into 8 is 40. So 4 years, 0 carry. 4 year, 0 carry, 5 into 6 is 30, 30 for 3 year, 4 carry, 5 into 3 is what, 5 into 1 is what, 5, 5 plus 3 is 8. So the answer here is 840. Do you do that? No, I would ask you not to do that. Why? Look at this, into 5, can I write it as into 10 by 2? Can I write 5 as 10 by 2? Yes, it is exactly same as 5. Look at this, 2 ones, 2 5 times, this is nothing but 5 only. So if I take it as 10 by 2, what is the advantage? Now look, I'll divide this by 2. What is divided by 2? 168 divided by 2 is 84. 84 into 10 is 840. So my answer here is 840. Same way, if I want to ask you what will be 204 into 5, what will be your answer? I'll tell you that 204 half is 102 and one more zero because you'll be having into 10 over here, into 10. Not just these small numbers. What if I ask you what is 2 8 5 6 3 2 4 into 5? What will you do? What will be your answer? It is very simple. Half of it, 28 half is 14, 56 half is 28, 32 half is 16, half of 4 is 2 and 1 0. This will be your final answer. I hope everybody are able to understand this, right? Everybody are able to understand this, yes or no? Add 0, divide by 2, yes. Divide by 2, add 1 0 over there. I think Abhila should have taught you about this. Abhila should have already spoken to you about this, yes or no? You would have also spoken about fraction to percentage relationships. Yes. Yes, all these tricks, all the shortcuts have already been done in our YouTube channel. You have our YouTube channel where you'll have videos on speed math, you'll have videos on speed math, and in that topic and in that speed math classes, all of these have already been solved. All of these have already been solved. So take up this, look at those questions, look at those, how have they been solved. It'll be very easy for you guys. It would be very easy for you guys. Yes, clear with this, everyone? Anybody, any doubts here? Anybody in doubt here? Shall we move on to the next question then? Perfect. We shall move on to the next question here. What is the next question here? The next question here is, a person crosses a 800-meter long street in 3 minutes 20 seconds. What is his speed in kilometer per hour? What will be his speed in kilometer per hour? How do I solve this? Shall we start solving this quickly? A person crosses 800-meter long street, which means they've given me what? They've given me distance. Distance is nothing but 800 meters. Look at this, guys. Whenever you're talking about the topic of time, speed and distance, there's one thing that you need to keep in mind. That one very important thing here is units. What do I mean by units? See, how did we derive the speed? How did we derive the three important formulas in time, speed, and distance? We used units, kilometer per hour, to get the formula for speed. So from this you need to understand one thing. What is that? Whenever you're talking about time, speed, and distance, units are very important. Without using this units, you should not solve any problem. You'd have seen me solving all the questions, right? Did I solve anywhere? Have you seen me writing the answer without the units in any one case either? At least even in one case, have you seen me solving without the units? No, everywhere I've taken the units, I've cancelled the units, and I've given you the answer. So units is very important. Distance is what? 800 meters. So how much time is he taking? In 3 minutes 20 seconds. So time is what is given to me. That is 3 minutes 20 seconds. So now look at this. What are they asking me? They're asking me to find the speed. So one more thing. When you're talking about time, speed and distance, there are three important things that you need to keep in mind. The first thing will always be, whatever question is given to you, if you're not understanding this, convert this question into a diagram. This is the most important thing. If you're not understanding the question, convert it into a diagram. Draw a diagram. Next thing here is approach. What do I mean by approach? Once you have understood the question, the next difficulty that we as students will be facing is that, where do I start the question? How do I start solving the question? Should I start solving from the distance? Which formula should I use? Should I use the formula for distance? Should I use the formula for time? Should I use the formula for speed? How do I start the question? How do I solve the question? That is your second important thing. The next important thing here will be your units. I told you this is one of the most important things. This is one of the most important things, that is units. Never forget your units. Here for this question, you easily understand the question, so you don't need a diagram. What is your second important thing? Approach. Where do I start the question? In every question in time, speed and distance, always start the question with whatever is asked. What are they asked you people to find out? They're asking me to find out what is the speed. So always start your question with the speed. Speed is equal to distance traveled by time taken. So what is the distance traveled? Distance traveled here is 800 meters. What is the time taken? Time taken is given in terms of minutes and seconds. So the next important things comes into picture. Units. Whenever you're taking it in terms of meters, you should take times in terms of what? Seconds. So what will be the time in terms of seconds? 3 minutes, meaning every minute will have 60 seconds. 3 minutes will have 3 times of this 60 seconds. 3 times of 60 seconds is 180 plus 20, that is nothing but totally 200 seconds. 200 seconds. So what will my speed be? My speed here will be equal to 4 meter per second. But do I want it in terms of 4 meter per second? They're asking me to find the speed in terms of kilometer per hour. So 4 into, whenever you don't see kilometer in the place, write 5 in the denominator. 18 by 5. 18 into 4, this will be what? 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. So what will be my final answer here? 4 into 18 is 72. 72 divided by 5 will be what? 5 1 times is 5. 5 4 times is 20. Remaining is 20 again. So 14.4. My answer here will be option 4, 14.4 kilometer per hour. Since it was the first question, even though it was very simple, I took so long to answer because I made sure everything here should be covered. Everything here should be covered. So what is it? 14.4 kilometer per hour. Don't miss out on this units. So moving on to the next question. How do I solve this question? Look at this. A speed of the car increases by 3 kilometers after every 1 hour. After every 1 hour, the speed of the car is increasing by 3 kilometers. If the distance traveling in the first 1 hour was 30 kilometers, okay, this is not distance traveling actually, it is distance traveled. Distance traveled in the first 1 hour was 30 kilometers. What was the total distance traveled in 10 hours? What was the total distance traveled in 10 hours? Okay, I'm not able to understand what my question is. So what I'll do, I'll check. See, what are they telling? The speed of the car is increasing by 3 kilometers after every 1 hour. So which means until you travel for 1 hour, the speed is constant. The speed is constant. After 1 hour, the speed is increasing by 3 kilometers. So for example, they're telling that the first, okay, see, if I'm traveling at 50 kilometer per hour, I'll start the car at 50 kilometer per hour. I'll travel for 1 hour. After 1 hour, what I'll do, I'll increase it by 3. So it will become 53 kilometer per hour. Then after traveling 1 more hour, it will become 3 more extra. So it will be 56 kilometer per hour. Same way, everywhere 3 kilometers, 3 kilometers, 3 kilometers will be increased. 3 kilometers, 3 kilometers, 3 kilometers will be increased. So they're asking me, what is the total distance traveled in 10 hours? What is the total distance traveled in 10 hours? So can you tell me, look at this, what are they telling? If the distance traveled in the first 1 hour was 30 kilometers, in the first 1 hour, he has traveled 30 kilometers. He has traveled 30 kilometers. Can anybody tell me what was the speed of the car in the first 1 hour? If he's traveling 30 kilometers, what would be the speed in the first 1 hour? Anyone? Anyone? ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಸರಿ ಇದೆ, ಡಿ ರಾಂಗ್. ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಸುನಿಲ್ ಅವರೇ? ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ? ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಎ ಬಿ ಸಿ ಸರಿ ಇದೆ, ಡಿ ರಾಂಗ್ ಇದೆ. ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ? Okay, can anybody tell me what will be the distance? Perfect, perfect, Sri Lakshmi. First 1 hour, he has traveled 30 kilometers. If he has traveled 30 kilometers in 1 hour, what is his speed? His speed is 30 kilometers per hour, right? First 1 hour is traveled 30 kilometers, so which means his speed for the first hour is 30 kilometer per hour. Absolutely right. Beautiful answer. Beautiful answer over here. So now, first 1 hour, his speed was 30 kilometer per hour. So he traveled 30 kilometers in this 1 hour. Next hour, what will happen to his speed? Next hour, it will become 33 kilometer per hour. Yes or no? 33 kilometer per hour. Next 1 hour, it will become 33 kilometer per hour because every hour the speed will be increasing by 3 kilometers per hour. So this will become 33 kilometer per hour. Next, it will become 36 kilometer per hour. Next 1 hour, it will become 39 kilometer per hour, and so on, and so on, and so on. Look at this. First 1 hour, he traveled 30 kilometers. Next 1 hour, they're asking me the total distance. So I need to try to find it out in terms of distance. Can anybody tell me what will be the distance traveled in the next 1 hour? Anybody is traveling at 33 kilometer per hour. So the next 1 hour, he'll travel 33 kilometers. Then he will travel 36 kilometers. And then he'll travel 39 kilometers. Can anybody tell me at the end of 10th hour how many kilometers you would have traveled? How many kilometers you would have traveled? Last 1 hour. Last 1 hour, that is 10th hour. How many kilometers you would have traveled? Anybody? Anybody wants to take a guess? Last 1 hour, how many kilometers you would have traveled? At what speed you would have traveled at least? You're telling me it is 435. Sri Lakshmi, did you start adding everything? 30 plus 33 plus 36 plus 39 up to 10 times. Did you start adding all those? Did you add all those and get 435? Sri Lakshmi, 57. Absolutely right. How did you get that 57? See, yes, what you can do, you can manually start writing down 30 one time, 33 2, 36 3, 39 is 4, next 42 will be 5, next 49, 42, after 42 it is 45, then it will be 48, so on. You can write and keep on going. Or there is another way, there is an easier method. What is that? Look, in the second hour, how much did he travel? 33. How did you get that? First hour 30 plus for the second hour it will be increased by 3 kilometers. If you want it for third hour, how can you do it? First hour 30, remaining 2 hours it increased by 3 kilometers, so it will be 36. Look at this. If you want it for fourth hour, what will happen? First hour 30, after that it increased by 3 kilometer per hour. How many times did it increase? It increased 3 times because it increased 3 times. 4 hours meaning first 1 hour it will not increase. Then for the remaining 3 hours it will increase. For the 10 hours, for the 10th hour, what will happen? First 1 hour 30, it will not increase. Then it will increase 3 kilometers every hour for how many hours? For 9 hours it will increase. So totally it will be how much? 30 plus 9 3 times is 27. Together it would be 57 kilometers in the last 1 hour. 57 kilometers in the last 1 hour. So now they're not asking me to find the distance traveled in the last 1 hour. They're asking me to find the total distance. What was the total distance traveled in 10 hours? So I need to add all of this. Instead of adding all of this, is there any other shortcut? Yes, there is a shortcut. What is that shortcut? They're asking me to find the sum. How do I find the sum? Can I tell that? Can anybody tell me what is the formula for average? Look, be a little careful over here. I'll tell you how to solve this. I'll tell you how to easily solve this. This is slightly confusing because we have not done the topic of averages. If we had done the averages topic, it would have been very easy for you. It would have been very, very, very easy for you people. But since we have not done the average topic of average, it might be slightly confusing. So carefully listen to this. Carefully listen to this. See, see, what is the formula for average, Anima? What is average? Can I tell you? Average is equal to sum of all the numbers divided by total number. Sum by n. Yes, sum by total. Sum by total. Absolutely right. Average is equal to sum. What is the sum? I don't know. Divided by total. Divided by total meaning total number of terms. How many hours are there? How many terms are there? Since he's traveling for 10 hours, there will be 10 terms. So divided by 10. So now I need to find sum. I don't know what is the sum. That is what they're asking me to find. Sum will be equal to average into 10. So now, do I know the average? I don't know. Do I know the sum? I don't know. How do I calculate? And then how do I find? See, there is one simple thing to find average. What is that? If you take first term, if you take last term, if you divide it by 2, you will be getting the average. Take the first term, that is 30, plus the last term, that is 57. If you divide it by 2, you will get the average. This is my average. So look at this, my sum here will be equal to average into 10. Average is 30 plus 57, which is 87, divided by 2 into 10. Look at this. What will be 87 by 2? 87 by 2 is nothing but 2 4 times. 2 3 times is 6. Remaining is 1. 43.5 into 10 will be equal to 435. Will be equal to 435. Everybody able to understand this? Did everybody understand this? Everyone? Look at this. Instead of doing all of this, what you people did, take it, start counting every single thing. Yes, 1 second, Vijaya. Raise your hand once again. Vijaya, raise your hand once again if you want to ask something. Okay, nobody? Fine. Clear with this, everyone? Clear with this? In your examination, how would I solve this question? If it's asked in my examination, what I would like to do is, what I would be doing here is perfect. Annapurna, everybody who is in this thing. What is that? They've given me the right answer. Look at this. If you're asking me in the examination, if they ask me the same question, what I would do is I'll just see 30. Then every hour it will be increasing by 3. So 33, 36, so on. For how many years? 10, I mean, for how many hours? 10 hours. So since I got to know it is for 10 hours, how will I calculate? For 9 times it would have increased. So 9 times meaning first hour 30 plus 9 times would have increased by 3 kilometers. 3 into 9 is nothing but 27. 30 plus 27 is 57. I got to know last term is 57. I know I want to find out my sum of all these distances. Sum of all these distances will be given by what? Average into number. Average is nothing but 30 plus 57 divided by 2 into number of terms is 10. That is all done. That is all I would be doing. I'll be writing only this step here. I'll be writing only this step and getting the answer within one step. If you want to do that, kindly practice. Even you will be able to solve the question within one step. Clear with this? Clear with this? Now give me the answer for the next question, guys. Give me the answer for the next question. Quickly try to give me the answer for the next question. So it's okay, Vijaya. No issues. No issues. I thought you wanted to ask something, so I asked you to raise your hand once again. That's all. Try to give me the answer for the next question quickly. Okay, shall we try to solve this question? Shall we try to solve this question quickly? Now look at this. A man completed a journey in 12 hours. Okay. A man, they've given me the total time, which is 12 hours. He traveled the first half of the journey at the rate of 32 km per hour. and the second half at the rate of 35 kilometer per hour, and the second half at the rate of 35 kilometer per hour. Find this total journey in kilometers. So what did I tell you? If you are not understanding some question, try to convert it into a diagram. Did you understand this question? For me, I understood this question. But if you're not understanding with question, how would I convert it into diagram? A man is starting his journey. He's traveling half of his journey, exactly half of his journey. He's traveling at the first half at 32 kilometer per hour. They've given me the speed. What have they given me? 32 kilometer per hour. And they're telling me the next half, the second half at 35 kilometer per hour. Next, exactly the next half is traveling at what speed? 35 kilometer per hour. 35 kilometer per hour. Now find the total journey. They're asking me to find the total journey, which means they're asking me to find the total distance. Total distance. So where do I get total distance? If they ask me only distance, I can tell distance is equal to speed by time. But if they're asking me what is total distance, how do I get total distance? I told you, second thing is your approach. Where do I start the question? I will start the question from whatever is asked from me. What is asked from me? Total distance. Where do I get the total distance? I don't get the total distance anywhere else other than average speed. Yes or no? My average speed will be equal to total distance traveled by total time taken. Total time taken. Yes. So now look at this. What will be my average speed? I don't know what is the distance. I don't know what is the I know what is the total time. They're telling me the total time is 12 hours. I don't know what is the total distance. So how do I find the time? How do I find the average speed? I told you people. You can use this formula, but when can you use this formula? When can you use this formula? When there are only two speeds and the distance must be constant. The distance traveled must be constant in every case. So look at this. Do I have only two speeds here? Yes, there are only two speeds. Is the distance constant? First half of the journey, next half of the journey, which means the distance here is also same as the distance over here. Yes or no? Yes or no? The distance here is same, exactly the same. So can I tell that the distance is also constant? There are two speeds, so I can use the formula for average speed. What is the formula for average speed? 2 times of S1 into S2 divided by S1 plus S2. So what is 2 times of S1 into S2? What is S1? S1 is 32. So 2 into 32 into 35, the whole divided by 32 plus 35. 32 plus 35 will be what? 67. 67, which should be equal to total distance traveled, let me write this on top so that it'll be clearly visible to you guys. I'll write it here. Total speed will be 2 into s1, that is 32, into 35, the whole divided by 65, which will be equal to total distance divided by total time is 12. So can I cancel it out with anything? Yes. 5 13 times is 65, 5 7 times is 35, 5 7 times is 35. So is there anything else where I can cancel this out? Is there anything else where I can cancel this out? Yes. Can anybody tell me where else I can cancel it out? Is there any place where I can? Okay, sorry. I'm so sorry. This is not 65. This is 67. This is 67. 2 into 32 into 35 is equal to total distance traveled by total time taken. Total time is 12. So which value can I cancel it out with? 13, it is not divisible by 3, it is not divisible by 6. So is it divisible by 23? 23 times is what? 23 6 times. Okay, no, it is not divisible by 23. What about 29? 29 3 times, not possible. So which value can I cancel it out? Which value can I cancel it out? Is there any value that I can cancel this out with? Anyone? Anyone? Yes, it is 67. Yes. It is 67. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. It is 67. So what will be, how do I cancel this out? How do I cancel this out? Or should I calculate everything and then cancel it out? Should I calculate everything and then cancel it out? Or is there any value in which I can cancel it out 67? Since okay, let us try to cancel it out with some number. Let us try to cancel it out. So how do I solve this question? How do I solve this question? Okay, what is 32 into 35? 32 into 35 will be equal to what? So 30 into 30. Okay, look at this, look at this. 35 into 30 will be what? 1050 plus 2 into 35 is what? 70. So 1050 plus 70 will be what? 1120. 1120 double will be what? 1120. 2240 divided by 67 into 12 will be equal to total distance. Will be equal to total distance. Now 2240 divided by 67. Shall we check it out with 60? Which number? 67 itself. How many times will it go with 224? 67. How many times? Look at this. How many? What will be 67 into 3 times? 3 into 67 will be equal to. Is it correct? Whatever I've done, is it correct over here? 32 into 35. One second, guys. One second. I'm so sorry. Let me calculate this quickly. 32, 35. 5 2 times is 10. 1 carry. 5 3 times is 15. 6 21. 21 plus 2 1 is 22. So 2 here carry. 3 3 times is 9. 9 plus 2 is 11. 11 into 2 times is there. 2 into 1120 is 2240. 2240 divided by 67 into 12. 67 into 12, that will be equal to total distance traveled. Total distance traveled here will be equal to what? 67. How many times? 67 3 times will be equal to what? 67 3 times will be equal to 180 plus 21. So it will be 221, 220, 200, sorry, 201. So if it is 201, 67 3 times is 201. 201. How many times is 224? 201 plus 13, 13 is 224. 130, 130, 67. It will be somewhere around. It is approximate, I guess. It is somewhere approximate. 67 approximately 2 times. 32 into 12 will be equal to what? 32 into 10 is 320. 2 into 32 is 64. 320 plus 64 is 384. Approximately 384. Somewhere close to 384. I don't have anything. None of these. I don't have anything. It would be none of these. Yes, sometimes you might get this. Sometimes you might get a question something like this. You have to be slightly quick. I made a mistake here. I slightly stumbled over here. This happens from with everyone. So don't do this. Try to go with approximate value. Are you getting 402? Are you people getting 402? Are you people getting 402 here? Okay, let us move on to the next question over here. Let us move on to the next 402. Okay, maybe wait a second. Wait a second. Let me also verify it quickly. Let me verify it quickly. 2 into 32 into 35 into 12 divided by 67. 401. Okay, there also you're getting a decimal value. You're not getting exactly 402. You're getting a decimal value. Decimal value. Since we have got a decimal value and this is a huge calculation over here, it is a huge calculation over here. So maybe we have done this. Maybe we have gone wrong over here. It might be, yes, 402. It might be 402. It is not exactly 402. It'll be some decimal value, 401.19 something. That is where we have gone wrong. If you take approximate value, yes, it is 402, but it is not exactly 402. And don't worry, people, don't worry. There might be a small mistake in this question over here. There might be a small mistake. You'll not get these kind of value. I mean, will not get these kind of questions in your examination. They'll give you exact values, or even if it is approximation, even if it is approximation, it will not be so difficult for you to approximate. It will not be difficult for you to approximate over here. Okay, the next question, let us solve this one last question on your average speed, and let us quickly move on to our relative speed. Quickly, guys, quickly try this out. Quickly try this out. A boy goes to his school from his house at a speed of 2 km per hour and returns at a speed of 5 km per hour. If he takes 14 hours in going and coming, if he takes 14 hours in going and coming, the distance between his house to school is. See again, I'll take a diagram here. His house is here, his school is here. House to school. What he'll do, he'll go at a speed of 2 km per hour. While he's going from house to school, he'll go at 2 km per hour. While coming back, he'll come at 5 km per hour. He'll come back at 5 km per hour. Now, what are they telling? It takes 14 hours. Total time taken by him is 14 hours. What is the distance between his house and school? How do I calculate the distance? Now, this was exactly same as Deepak traveling from Bangalore to Mysore. Yes, we could solve it either by taking the distance as d, or we could solve it by taking the or we could solve it by using the formula for average speed. Yes or no? So where should I start the question? What are they asking me? They're asking me to find the distance between his house and school. Since they're asking me to find the distance, I'll try to calculate the distance. What distance can I find here? I can find my total distance in this case. I cannot find only the distance, I can find the total distance. Why? Look at this, they've given me the total time. Whenever they've given me the total time, it will always be the total distance. When you know it is total time and total distance, what formula we should take? We should take average speed. Average speed will be equal to total distance traveled by total time taken. And we also know that average speed is also given by 2 into S1. S1 is 2 into S2 is 5 divided by S1 plus S2. S1 plus S2 is 5 plus 2, which is 7, which is equal to total distance traveled by total time taken. What is the total time taken here is 14 hours. So 7 once, 7 two times is 14. So what will be my total distance in this case? Total distance here will be equal to 2 into 2 is 4, 4 into 5 is 20, 20 into 2 is 40. So what is the total? What is the distance from his house to school? Can anybody tell me? It is 40 kilometers. So it is none of these, right? It is none of these, right? Yes or no? Tell me yes or no. Is it none of these or no? Yes or no? Is it none of these? Yes or no? No. Then how? What is the answer here? Perfect. Whatever you're told, Kranti Kumar, it is right. What you're telling, none of this is not the right answer. Then what is the right answer then? What is the right answer? 40 is not the right answer. Then what is the right answer? What is the right answer? 20. Perfect. Perfect. Look at this. This 40 kilometers here. 40 kilometers here. What is this 40 kilometers? It is the total distance, which means he's going from his house to school and then coming back from his school to house. So this total distance that I'm getting here is 40 kilometers. It is two times the distance from his house to school. It is he's traveling two times the distance. So my total distance here, I mean, the distance from his house to school will be 20, while going 20, while coming back 20. Totally he has traveled 40. So my answer here is 20 kilometers. The answer here is 20 kilometers, which is absolutely right. Which is absolutely right. Beautiful answers. Now we'll be moving on to the next concept, and the next concept for us here will be nothing but your relative speed. What do I mean by relative speed, guys? What do I mean by relative speed? What is this relative speed? See, everybody might have had an experience, right? Everybody would have traveled by train. Have you all traveled by train? How many of you here have traveled by train? How many of you here have traveled by train? Yes, you people have traveled by train. See, I'll ask you a simple question based on that journey. You should give me the answer. Let us imagine you're traveling in a train like this. You're traveling in a train, something like this. You would have observed, right? there would be one more train that is traveling next to you. It is also traveling in the same distance. It is also traveling in the same distance. Same distance. When it is traveling next to you in the same way, in the same distance, how would you feel? Did you feel the train was fast, or did you feel the train was slow? How did you feel the other train was when both of you were traveling the same direction? You are sitting here, somebody else is sitting there. Could you see each other? Could you see each other? See, what I would observe here is, whenever I was traveling in a train, let me imagine my train was traveling at 100 km per hour. The other train was traveling at 120 km per hour. 120 km per hour. Both of them are traveling in the same direction. Same direction. I am traveling here. Other train is also traveling next to me. I'll see there. I can see everything that is happening inside the other train. So I would think that the other train which is traveling next to me is very slow. It is traveling very slow. Why do I feel that? Because I myself am traveling at 100 km per hour. When somebody else is traveling at 120 km per hour next to me, I don't feel that the next person is traveling at 120 km per hour. I would just feel that they're traveling at 20 km per hour. They're traveling at only 20 km per hour is what I would feel, because with respect to my speed, what is their speed? They're just 20 km more. That is what is called as relative speed. That is nothing but called as relative speed. When both of them are traveling in the same direction, both of them are traveling in the same direction, it will always be speed of train 1 or minus speed of train 2, where speed of train 1 is the train, which is the train 1, whichever is faster take it as speed train 1, whichever is slower take it as train 2. Relative speed here will be equal to what? Relative speed here will be equal to s1 minus s2, speed of train 1 minus speed of train 2. Now another condition, what is that? I'm traveling in one train which is traveling at 100 km per hour, same as previously. I'm traveling in the same train. I'm traveling in the same train, kilometer per hour. Now what is happening is, there is one more train which is traveling, but it is traveling in the opposite direction. Opposite direction, it is traveling at 120 km per hour. 120 km per hour. So how would I feel now? How would I feel now? Can anybody tell me? Have you experienced this? Have you people experienced this? One train traveling like this, there is another train which is traveling like this. Don't you think it will be like soup? It will travel fast. Don't you think it will travel so fast? Yes or no? When two trains are traveling in opposite direction, have you observed this? Have you observed this? Have you people observed this? Yes or no? When they're traveling in opposite, how you people observe this? What will happen? What will happen? It will be very fast. It will be like it will feel that it is traveling with a lot of speed, over here. Yes, what will happen to my relative speed? Why do you feel it is fast? Because I am also traveling fast. Even it is also traveling fast. We are trying to go away from each other. So we are trying to go away from each other. So both of us are traveling with a lot of speed with respect to each other. So my relative speed here will be equal to speed of train 1 plus speed of train 2. Speed of train 2. Everybody able to understand this? Everybody able to understand this? Yes or no? Yes or no? Just think you're traveling at 100, the other person is traveling at 120. Don't you think you both will be able to see each other for a long time? Yes or no? When you're okay, let us imagine you're traveling in a bike. You're traveling at 100 km per hour. There's one more person who's overtaking you at 120 km per hour. 120 km per hour. And both of you are traveling in the same direction. Don't you think you can see that 120 km per hour person? If you're traveling in a straight road, you will be able to see him for at least another next 4 or 5 minutes, because you both of them will be traveling together. So you can see them. What happens if you're traveling at 100 kilometer per hour like this? The other person is traveling at 120 kilometer per hour like this. Don't you think he'll pass away so fast that when you turn back, you will not be able to see him, because even you are traveling front, he is traveling backward. So both of them will not be able to see each other. So what is happening to the speed? That is when you think that both of your relative speed will be much higher. Whenever you are traveling in the opposite direction, your relative speed will be equal to s1 plus s2. Think of it like a magnet. When it is in same pole, both of them will repel each other, minus. When it is opposite pole, both the speeds will attract each other, so plus. Same direction, minus. Opposite direction, opposite. Magnets, both magnets will attract each other, so it will be plus. Clear with this, everyone? Clear with this? Using this, shall we solve the question? Shall we solve a question here? Shall we start solving questions on relative speed here? Perfect. Yes, we shall start solving questions on relative speed quickly. Let us solve it quickly. Come on, guys. Now, what is my first question here? My first question here is, find the time taken by the train to cross a man standing on a platform. There is a train. Okay, let me take this is a train. There is a man standing on a platform. There is a man standing on a platform. The length and speed of the trains are 255 meters and 51 kilometer per hour. So they're telling me the length of this train is 255 meters. The height of this train, or the length of this train, is 255 meters. And the speed of this train is 51 kilometer per hour. 51 kilometer per hour. Now look at this. What should this train do? This train has to cross this man. And they're asking me to find the time taken. What did I tell you? Three things. Three important things. First thing is diagram. Second thing is your approach. So I am done with the diagram. Next thing is approach. What should be my approach? Where should I start the question? I should start the question from whatever is asked to me. What is asked to me? Time is asked. Time. So what is time? Time is equal to distance by speed. Time is equal to distance by speed. Distance by speed. So what is my distance over here? What is the distance traveled? Let me see. Let me see. What will be the distance traveled? So if a train has to cross this man, where should train come and stand? The train has to be somewhere like this. The train has to be somewhere like this. It was here. Let us imagine my train was here. Now if it has to cross this man, it has to come here. So what is the distance traveled? From this point, it has traveled up to this point. What is this distance? Don't you think this is exactly same as the length of the train? What is the distance traveled by this train? It has traveled the length of its own self. If it travels the distance equal to its length, then it has traveled, it has crossed the man. Yes, everybody able to understand this point? Everybody able to understand this point? See what is happening? How much far has it traveled? If it crosses the man, if it has to cross the man, which means the train has to completely come after this person. So what is the distance that it is traveling? It is traveling its own length as the distance. It is traveling its own length as the distance. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Yes or no? Quickly, quickly. I want responses from you guys. Yes. Perfect. 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 Then let us try to solve this question. Let us try to solve this question. Okay. Now, majority of us will have a confusion. Now, speed. What kind of speed is this? You got to know the distance is nothing but length of the train itself. What speed is it? Okay. Now, there are different speeds. What is that? It is normal speed. Should you use normal speed? Or should you use average speed? Or should you use relative speed? Relative speed. Now, how would I get to know about this? What speed should I use? What speed should I use? Is it normal speed, average speed, or relative speed? How do I determine this? How do I determine this? Sir, whatever you told, diagram, I drew the diagram. Approach, I understood what is my approach. I wrote down the formula. Now I'm confused. Which speed should I use? Normal speed or average speed or relative speed? You people tell me, what speed should I use here? Normal speed. Why? Why normal speed? Why not average and relative speed? Look at this, guys. To identify this also, I'll tell you a trick. To identify this also, I'll tell you how to easily identify what speed you have to use. See, whenever we were dealing with average speed, look at this average speed. Who was traveling in this case? Kiran was traveling in this case. How many speeds was he traveling with? How many speeds did he travel with? He started traveling with, here in this case, in train, one speed. By bus, a different speed. By bike, a different speed. One person, more than one speed. More than one speed. What speed will we use? What speed did we use? We tried to use the average speed. Look at this. Here also, how many people are there? Only Deepak is traveling. He's traveling from his house to, okay, from Bangalore to Mysore while going at 60 kilometer per hour, while coming back at 40 kilometer per hour. So one person, two speeds, more than one speed. It is average speed. Average speed. So look at the next question here. Again, Deepak. Again, when you took up few questions here, that is, a speed of the car increased. We did not use average speed here. Where all did we use average speed? Here also we used average speed. A man completes a journey. Look at this. There's a man. He's traveling with how many speeds? He's traveling with two different speeds. One is at 32 kilometer per hour. The other one is at 35 kilometer per hour. So one person, more than one speed. Average speed. Average speed. So, okay, what is relative speed then? Look at this. When did we use relative speed? How many trains were there? Train 1 in which you were traveling, other train which is traveling next to you. Train 1 and train 2. Two trains, two speeds. You use which speed? Relative speed. More than one object, more than one object, more than one speed. More than one object, more than one speed, then we call it as relative speed. Only one object, only one speed, then we call it as normal speed. Here, how many objects are there? Only train is traveling with only train is traveling. There is no other thing which is traveling. The man is standing, so he's not traveling. Only train is traveling. One object, one speed. So which speed will you use? We will be using normal speed. So speed, normal speed. So what is the length of the train? Length of the train here is 255 meters. So what is the speed? What is the distance travel? What is the speed of the train? Speed of the train is 51 kilometer per hour. 51 kilometer per hour. So do you want the answer in terms of kilometer per hour or meter per second? Look at this. Your length is in terms of meter. Speed is in terms of kilometer per hour. So what you need to do? You need to convert it into meter per second, because your answer is in terms of seconds everywhere. So meter per second, meaning you will divide it by what? The moment you see kilometer per hour, you write 5 in the numerator, 18 in the denominator. Look at this. What is 51 into 5? 51 into 5 is 255. 255 gets cancelled. So remaining is 18 meters, and this is also meter per second. Meters and meters gets cancelled. If the seconds goes to the numerator, it will be 18 seconds. So my answer here is option 3, 18 seconds. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? First question in this type. So this is first question in this type. So I've taken so much of time to easily solve this, slowly solve this. Now from the next question, we shall go a little quickly. Look at this next question. Try to give me the answer for the next question here. Find the time taken by the train of length 150 meters to cross a man running in opposite direction at 6 km per hour. The speed of the train is 48 km per hour. First thing is diagram. Let me take the diagram. Find the time taken by the train. Okay, one train is there of length 150 meters. Okay, the length of the train here is 150 meters. Fine, I write it as 150 meters is the length of the train. to cross a man running in opposite direction. Now there is a man. See, do you know how far is the man from the train? Do you people know how far is the man from the train? Yes or no? Quickly give me the answer. Because we have a little less time, I want you to answer quickly. Do we know how far is the man from the train? How far is the man standing from the train? We don't know, right? We don't know. So whenever they're giving you some question in like this in time, speed and distance, if they tell you the man is 100 meters away from the train, what we need to do? We need to take the man 100 meters away from the train. If they tell you the man is 200 meters away from the train, we have to take 200 meters. If they don't tell you anything, you should always take the man exactly at the tip of this train here. Not just the man. Even if there is another train, where should you take another train? If they tell you another train is 200 meters away, then you have to take it so far. If they don't tell you anything, you have to take it exactly at the tip of the next train. Both the trains tip should be like this. Both the trains tip should be like this if they don't tell you how far one train is from the other train. Able to understand this? Now, look at this. Now the man is not standing quietly. He is also running. In which direction is he running? He is running in the opposite direction of the train. He is running in the opposite direction of the train with the speed of 6 kilometer per hour. This person's speed is 6 kilometer per hour. And the speed of the train is 48 kilometer per hour. Speed of the train is 48 kilometer per hour. Okay, beautiful. We have done this. 48 kilometer per hour. Next thing is approach. How do I start the question? They're asking me to find the time. So I have to start with the time. Time is equal to distance by speed. What will be the distance? If the train has to cross this man, it has to come to this point here. So what will be the total distance traveled by this train? It would have traveled the length of its own self. So length of the train. Now tell me, what speed are we using now? What speed are we using now? Quickly, what speed? Is it normal speed, average speed, or relative speed? Normal, average, or relative? What kind of speed are we using now? Relative. Beautiful. Why? The train is also moving, the man is also moving. More than one object, more than one speed. It is relative speed. Always remember this. Whenever you're finding average speed, there should be only one person moving. Only one person moving. When there is relative speed, there is more than one person moving. If it is normal speed, the person is also one, speed is also one. So here it is relative speed. So relative speed in which direction? Opposite direction or same direction? It is opposite direction. Whenever it is opposite direction, what will happen? Plus or minus? Plus or minus? Magnet. Opposite poles attract each other. So it will be plus. It will be plus. So it will be speed of the, I mean, what speed it is? It is relative speed, and the relative speed here will be plus S1 plus S2. So what will be the length traveled? The length will be 150 meters. The third point, this thing, units. Don't forget about the units. Units is very, very, very important. What will be the relative speed? Relative speed here will be equal to S1 plus S2. S1 meaning speed of the train plus S2 meaning speed of the man. Speed of the train is 48 plus 40, 48 kilometer per hour plus 8 kilometer, 48 kilometer per hour plus 6 kilometer per hour. So totally it will be equal to 54 kilometer per hour. But I don't want it in terms of kilometer per hour. I want everything in terms of seconds. So I have to convert it into meter per second. Kilometer per hour into 5 by 18 meter per second. Meter per second. Meter gets cancelled. 18 once, 18 3 times is 54. 3 5 times is 15. 15 10 times. So if the second goes to the numerator, it will be 10 seconds. My answer here will be equal to 10 seconds. People who told 10 seconds, absolutely right answer. There are many people who gave me the answer for this question. Many people have already given me the answer. Who are those? Who are those? Annapurna has given me the answer. That is okay. Digant is telling me easy method ಹೇಳಿ. ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕಪ್ಪ ದಿಗಂತ್ easy method ಬೇಕಾಗಿತ್ತು? ಯಾವ question easy method ಬೇಕಿತ್ತು ದಿಗಂತ್? Sunita, perfect. 10 seconds. People on YouTube and people on this thing, people on the app. How many of you have given the right answer? Relative speed, Lakshmi. Yes, 54, absolutely right. She Lakshmi, 10 seconds. She tells it is 10 seconds. Absolutely right, guys. Absolutely right. Now, moving on to the next question. We'll quickly move on to the next question here. Would you like to solve this question, or do you want me to give the answer? Do you want me to directly solve, or do you want some time to solve this question? Time beka to nane solve madla. Do you want some time to solve this question, or should I start it off? Let's start it. Okay, one thing you can do, you can take this as your assignment and drop the question, drop the answers in our Telegram channel. People who are watching it on YouTube, if you're not in the group, drop it on Telegram channel. People who are watching it on app, people from Akims, PGCT Akims, you can drop it in your group. I want you to drop the answer for this question in your groups. Moving on to the next question. Moving on to the next question here. What is the next question that we have here? Find the time taken by the train of length 260 meters to cross another train of length 140 meters running in opposite direction. The speed of the trains are 50 km per hour and 40 km per hour respectively. Try to give me the okay. Now shall we try to solve this question? Now look at this. First thing is the diagram. What should I do? First, okay, find the time taken by the train of length 260 meters. There is one train of length 260 meters. Okay, I've taken one train whose length is 260 meters. To cross another train of length 140 meters, there is another train who's traveling at 140 meters in opposite direction. Since they have not given me how far the other train is, I have to take it in the tip of the train. I have to take this at the tip of the train. The other train's length is 140 meters. Okay, I'll take it as 140 meters. The speed of the trains are 50 km per hour and 40 km per hour respectively. The speed of this train is 50 km per hour and the speed of this train is 40 km per hour. Okay, I've taken that also, 40 km per hour. Okay, now diagram is done. Next thing is approach. Where do I start the question? I always start the question from whatever is asked to me. What is asked to me? Time. Time is equal to distance by speed. What will be my distance in this case? Can anybody tell me what will be the total distance traveled? Can anybody tell me what should be the total distance traveled? Quickly, guys. I want answers from you. Distance traveled. What will be the distance traveled? Anybody? Anybody? Quickly, quickly. 400. Kranti Kumar says it is 400. Absolutely right. Absolutely right. Why is it 400? Earlier, when we were used to take the man, we used to directly take the length distance traveled as length of the train. Now, why are we not taking it as length of the train? Instead, we are taking the length of two trains. Look at this. This train here is at this point. Now, if it has to cross this train, which means it has to travel this first 140 meters, it has to first travel here. If it travels 140 meters, it will come here. Even at this point, it is not crossed it. Even at this point, it is not yet crossed it. They're coming next to each other. If it has to cross, again it has to go. So that the end of the train should be at this point. The end of the train should be at this point. So observe, from this point until this point, what is the total distance traveled? What is the total distance traveled from here to here? It is nothing but the length of the second train, which is 140 meters. From here to here, what is the distance traveled? From here to this point, it is nothing but the length of this train here, that is 260 meters. Totally, how much has this train traveled? Totally, this train has traveled 260 plus 140, that is 400 meters. 400 meters. Look at this. Whenever there are two objects, it might be train, it might be platform, it might be anything which is having a length. If it is a man, man does not have a length. Can you tell me what is the length of the man? It is negligible. It is zero. That is why we directly take the distance traveled equal to length of the train. Actually, the distance traveled should be equal to length of the train plus length of the man. Length of the man. Does he even have a length when compared to train? He doesn't have. He's not so fat enough to compare him to a train. So I'll take the length of the man as zero. So it is length of the train. If there are two trains, what will happen to the distance? The distance here will be equal to length of the train 1 plus length of train 2. It will always be like this, even if it is in opposite direction or same direction, it will be like this. If there is a platform, what will be the total distance traveled? Total distance traveled will be equal to length of the train plus length of the platform. Length of the train plus length of the platform. If there is a bus, distance traveled will be equal to length of the train plus length of the bus. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Quickly give me the answers, guys. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Just give me a moment. Let me connect my charger here. Just a moment, guys. Okay. 16 seconds. Now look at this. Let us solve this question. Distance traveled is equal to length of the train 1 plus length of train 2 divided by speed. What speed should I use? Since they're moving in opposite, there are two people, two trains, two speeds. So it is relative speed. And my relative speed here will be equal to, since it is opposite direction, they'll attract each other. S1 plus S2. So the total distance is 400 meters. Don't forget the third thing, that is your units. Units is very, very, very important, especially in your time, speed and distance and time and work. Never solve it without units, guys. Never solve it without units in time, speed and distance and time and work. Never forget this. Time, speed and distance, time and work. Units are very, very, very important. So what will be the speed? 50 plus 40, 90 kilometer per hour. But I want it in terms of meter per second. So 5 by 18. 18 once, 18 5 times is 90. 5 times is 25. 25 how many times is 400? 25 4 times is 100. From 100, if you have to go to 400, you have to multiply with 4 again. So 4 into 4 is nothing but 16. So my answer here is 16. Here it is, since you converted into meter per second. Meter gets cancelled. Seconds goes to the numerator. It would be 16 seconds. So my answer here will be equal to 16. Clear with this? Give me the answer for the next question quickly. Quickly, guys. Find the time taken by the train of length 280 meters to cross another train of length 200 meters running in the same direction. The speeds of the train are 96 and 78 kilometer per hour respectively. Try to solve it. I will also be solving it. Don't look at the screen. People who want to solve it on their own, never look at the screen, guys. Don't look at the screen. You will not learn if you don't try it on your own. So I'll be solving it here. You have to just look at it, which is for verification at the end. Two trains, one is 280 meters, the other one is how much? 200 meters, running in same direction. Same direction. So I have to take where? I have to take this at the tip of the train. So like this is, so this is how I have to take. 280 meters is the length of this train, and the train of the next train is 200 meters. Length of the next train is 200 meters, and the speed of the first train is 98 kilometer per hour. Sorry, 96 kilometer per hour. The speed of the second train is nothing but 78 kilometer per hour. So next thing here is done with the diagram. Approach. Where should I should start my question? Time taken. Time is equal to distance by speed. What is the distance? Whenever I'm taking any two objects, if the other object also has a breadth, has a length, so what should I take? Length of this train plus length of this train. So it is nothing but 480 meters divided by what is the speed? Speed here is relative speed. What should be my relative speed, since they're traveling in opposite direction? Sorry, they're traveling in same direction. Same direction meaning magnet, same poles repel each other. Minus 96 minus 78 is nothing but 18 kilometer per hour. 78 plus 8 is 86 plus 10 is 96. 18 kilometer per hour. The moment you see kilometer per hour, you have to write it as 5 by 18 meter per second. Meter per second. So 18 gets cancelled, meter gets cancelled. 5 meaning you can write it as 10 by 2. This 5 can be written as 10 by 2. So 10 by 2 meaning what? This 48 double, 0 gets cancelled. 48 double meaning 96 seconds. Do we have 96 seconds in our options? No. So is it none of these? No. Be careful. They've given it in terms of minutes plus seconds. Try to convert it into minutes plus seconds. 96 can also be written as 60 plus 36. 60 is nothing but 1 minute plus 36 seconds is 36 seconds. So 1 minute 36 seconds. Do we have it? Yes. Option 4, 1 minute 36 seconds will be your final answer. Is this clear to everyone? Is this clear to everyone? Absolutely right, Sri Lakshmi. 1 minute 36 seconds. Everybody understood this? Is this clear to everyone? Perfect. 1 minute 36 people in the YouTube live session. Have you all understood this? Same direction. Yes. Same direction, ripple each other. Same direction, ripple each other. So it is minus. Akshata Reddy, what is okay? 280. No, 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 no. That is what I'm telling you. Distance is always positive. Distance, you don't take negative. Only for the speed, you take that. Akshata, only for the speed. Yes, I understand your doubt. I understand your doubt. Look at this. I told you distance. Whenever there's a distance, no matter what it is, no matter if it is in the same direction or opposite direction, it will always be length of train 1 plus length of train 2. Length of train plus platform, length of train plus bus, length of train plus length of a man. Length of a man. Man does not have any length. He's so small. He's a small creature in front of a train. So I'll take it as 0. Not just man, even a pole. If you take a pole, the pole does not have a length, so you call it as 0. If you take a cat standing, the cat also will not have any length, so it is also taken as 0. If you're taking a let us say, what do you call bird also does not have any length. If you're taking a what do you call it, what do you call telepost, telegram pole, even that does not have a length, you'll take it as 0. If it's having any length like another train, even that is also huge, so length of the train 1 plus length of the train 2. Length of the train 1 plus length of the train 2. Able to understand this? Only for distance it is positive and negative, not for the length. Not for the length. Not for the length. For the length it is always, for the length it is always positive only. So if you've understood it, do you want me to solve more problems or do you want me to end the class here? Do you want me to solve a few more problems or end the class here? Quickly guys. Because 2 hours is already done. If you're okay with solving more problems, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. But I want you people to stay in the class. If you're staying in the class, I'm ready to solve a few more problems. What would you people want to do? See, I'm telling you people once again and again. See guys, 12 hours, just 12 hours. We cannot do anything with respect to your app. If you want to learn aptitude in 12 hours, it is not at all possible. If you want, ask our regular students, ask Sunita, ask Annapurna. If we have to cover this, I mean, aptitude in 12 hours, which is literally impossible. Which is literally impossible because I cannot even cover 3 chapters properly in this 3 hours. I mean, 12 hours. I cannot even complete 3 big chapters like time, speed, and distance. This is not the complete time, speed, and distance. I have to take up more problems for you to understand this entire topic of time, speed, and distance. I've taken up only few problems here, fewer problems. If I have to solve time, speed, and distance properly, I have to understand it. I have to take at least 50 questions for you people to understand, which we have already done in our YouTube channel. If you go to our YouTube channel, go to our basic videos, basic concept videos, so you'll be getting all the problems over there. You can practice it. Once you're done practicing with these topics, move on to the other topics which are not started. For example, profit and loss, averages, ages, partnership, and what are the other topics which are not covered? For example, simple interest, compound interest, mixtures, permutation, combination, probability. There are so many topics which are not being covered to you guys. Please go through all those topics. Please go through all those topics from our YouTube channel, guys. So what about your answers? Do you want me to solve a few more? Okay, more problems. You've given me the answer as more problems. We shall solve a few more problems. Take up the next question here. Let us be a little quick over here. More problems. Look at this. Find the time taken by the train of length 250 meters to cross a man sitting in another train of length 200 meters, running in opposite direction. The speed of the trains are 57 km per hour and 53 km per hour. 53 km per hour. Okay. Now again, diagram. Watch, how should I take the diagram? Find the time taken by the train of length 250 meters. There is one train whose length is 250 meters. Okay, I've taken 250 meters. To cross a man, be careful. This is this thing here. This is the int over here. This thing that is they have given to confuse you. Until now, whatever you solved, it is not same as this. This is slightly different. Why? It has to cross a man. It has to cross only a man sitting in another train. Sitting in another train. Do you know where the other man is sitting in another train? No. So whenever you're taking that man, you should be taking him at the tip of this train. That is what I told you. You should be taking that man at the tip of this train over here. Running in opposite direction. The speed of the trains are 57 and 53 km per hour respectively. The speed of the train is 57 km per hour and the speed of the train, this train is 53 km per hour and the length of this train here is 200 meters and the length of this is 53 km per hour. So now diagram is done. My approach, where should I start the question? I should start the question with my time. Time is equal to distance by speed. Distance by speed. What is my distance in this case? Can anybody tell me what is the distance in this case? Any people tell me what is the distance that I should be taking in this case? Sushma, YouTube channel link is already being shared in your group, I guess. YouTube channel link is already being shared in your group. Many of your friends are also attending the YouTube live class there. 450. Muhammad Safiq is telling it is 450. Now, that is the mistake all of us will do. That is the mistake all of us will do. What is that? Look at this, guys. Look at this. What are they telling? They're telling that the train has to cross the man. It should not cross another train. It should just cross the man. Which means if the train comes to this point, can I tell that it has crossed the man? So what is the distance traveled by this train? It is nothing but it is traveling the length of its own self. It is traveling the length of its own self. That is 250 meters only. That is why I'm telling you, look at this. It is crossing a man and not the train. What are they telling you? They're telling you that the train has to cross a man. It should just cross the man, not the train. It should just cross the man. So my distance here is not to 450. It is just 250. Now tell me what should be my speed? Is my speed, what kind of speed should I use? Normal speed, relative speed, or average speed? Even this will be slightly confusing to you people. Did you all understand why the distance is 250 meters? Everybody, did you all understand this? Now tell me what should be the speed. Tell me what should be the speed. Not 50, guys. It is not 50, not 450. It is not 50, not 450. It should be 250 because that train has to cross. That train has to cross the man. Now look at this. Speed. When it comes to speed, it is not average speed. Once again, what speed it is? It is nothing but your relative speed. Why? See, one train is moving at 57 km per hour. Another train is moving at 53 km per hour. If a man is sitting inside this train, don't you think the man is also traveling in 50 km per hour speed? 53 km per hour, yes or no? Even the man is traveling at 53 km per hour. Now there is a speed of the man and speed of the train. Both of them are traveling in opposite direction. So it is plus. It is plus 57 plus 53. This is slightly confusing. Yes, this is slightly confusing because they're telling me about a man sitting inside the train. If a man is sitting inside the train, if a train has to cross the man, which means it has to cross itself. Yes. Next thing is, since if the train is traveling at 53 km per hour, Don't you think even that man is traveling at 53 km per hour? Just imagine there is a train whose length is 250 meters. 250 meters. There is a man who is running at 53 km per hour, and this train is traveling at 57 km per hour. Now try to solve this. This will become equivalent to this. Now look at this. What should be the speed? Both man and train are running. Both man and train are running. So speed here will be equal to relative speed. Both of them are traveling in opposite direction. So it will be 57 plus 53. 57 kilometer per hour plus 53. So what will be 57 plus 53? It will be 110 kilometer per hour. The moment you see kilometer per hour, you have to write it as 5 by 18 meter per second. Meter per second, done. Now look at this, 0 gets cancelled, 5 once, 5 times is 25. So what will this be equal to? 18 into 5. 18 into 5. Look at this, meters, 1 meters will also get cancelled. 18 into 5 is 90. 90 divided by 11 seconds. 90 divided by 11 seconds. Everybody able to understand this? Since there is no 90 by 11, it is none of these. It is none of these. Clear with this, everyone? Clear with this, everyone? Yes or no? Everybody understood this? Did everybody understand this? Did everybody understand this? So, that would be the end of this session here. That would be the end of this session. So thank you so much, everyone. You people have been a wonderful, wonderful class. See you all in the next session. The next session timings will be told to you people, intimated to you people in your groups, and the topic would be time and work. Next class, the topic would be time and work. When will the class take on? When will the class take place? All that will be told to you people in your groups. So that's all from me for the day, guys. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. See you all, people. Bye bye, everyone.